Well, folks, I just spent over $100,000 on a whole bunch of stocks. If you watched my video from about 4 hours ago or so, you know I sold some of a position and de-risked the portfolio a little bit, and I went ahead and I bought some stocks with that money. And I want to go ahead and share in this video what stocks I bought, why I bought these particular stocks, kind of the risk-reward profiles here for just a moment. And I know a lot of people wanted to know kind of what I was buying. There was a lot of predictions on the stocks I was buying. Some of them very accurate, I will say that. Very accurate. Some of them not so accurate. So appreciate you guys joining me as always. Hope you enjoy this video. Thanks so much for being subscribed, folks. Appreciate y'all as always. And also, just so you know, I made a couple free workshops for you guys in the last couple weeks. That's going to be the pinned comment down there if you want access to those. One's if you make less than $100,000 a year. One is if you make more than $100,000 a year. Kind of investing tips for this year and in future years as well. Okay. Alrighty, guys. First stock up here I bought. Should come as no surprise if you follow me closely. As you know, I've been buying this stock very heavily this year, and it is Amazon Amazon stock. I went ahead and I bought 200 shares, over $25,000 worth of Amazon stock here today. Paid about $126 per share of this. By the way, all these are going to say margin. It does not mean I'm buying on margin. I actually have $1.7 million available for margin in the public account. Yes, $1.7 million. And will I use any of it? Absolutely not, because margin can be far too dangerous, and especially with the interest rates the way they are right now, doesn't make sense. But in regards to having your account set up for margin, basically you can do exactly what I did if you have your account set up for margin, where I just went out of a stock here today, and then I didn't have to let the money clear. Usually you have to, most brokerages will make you have to wait 3 to 5 business days for the money to clear. I'm able to just buy. And then if I want to sell Amazon tomorrow and then buy another stock with it, I could do that as well. I'm not going to do that, obviously, but I could do that. So that's the nice thing of having your account set up in that way. You don't have to ever be on margin. It just makes it easy to kind of get in and out of positioning, okay? Now, in regards to Amazon, okay, I am now up to $126,000 worth of shares, essentially. I own 1,000 shares in the public account, right? Now, here's why I am working with a lot of urgency in regards to Amazon. I am buying Amazon stock very heavily, very quickly here. And the reason being is this, okay? Basically, if you run through what analyst projections are, which, if you have something like Seeking Alpha, you can see all analyst projections in regards to Amazon stock, okay? I believe that Amazon's going to beat these numbers easily, and it's not even going to be close. I believe they're going to absolutely obliterate these numbers analysts have. Every single number you see right here for analyst expectations for the next several years actually is, in my opinion, far too low. I do not believe these analysts have taken into account nearly enough of the inflationary pressures coming off Amazon that really hit them, the less cost spending that Amazon is doing that is going to be in the billions of dollars. I don't think they've taken into account AWS and how future growth is going to be much better than we've seen in the last few quarters, and especially with the whole AI wave and how much that's going to benefit Amazon. I think they're missing out on a lot of things. And this happens all the time in regards to analysts and Amazon. Amazon smashes analyst expectations regularly in past years. And we're talking on the revenue side and the EPS side. So I think analysts are far off, and that's why I'm trying to build my position faster, because once Amazon starts coming in and smashing these EPS estimates and the revenue estimates, like, it's game over at that point in time. Amazon's going to be flying back to all-time highs and going from there. So I've got to build with urgency here. By the way, if you want a free trial of Amazon, I did a sponsorship with them probably a few months ago, and I think I still have the link in the description area. It's for a free trial of Seeking Alpha, so you can see all the future projections for stocks that analysts have, as well as folks that write bearish and bullish articles on the stock and everything like that. Okay, now I might not be the only one onto this, folks. Okay, the stock's climbed 47% year to date. The S&P 500's up maybe 10% or so this year, right? The Russell, I don't even know if the Russell's up this year, to be honest. The Dow's barely trying to eke out any gain this year, right? And meanwhile, Amazon's just running its own race, up 47%. I don't think I'm the only one onto this, okay? I think there's a few other people that are onto this whole situation in regards with Amazon, and the fact that they're going to likely crush expectations over the next several quarters here, okay? Next stock up here I bought here today is, can you guess it? Man, this one, I got to say, this next one is, I'm even surprised I went ahead and bought this stock here today. But at the end of the day, I looked at it and I said, damn it, it's still a lot of money to be made in the stock over the coming years, and I got to go ahead and I got to buy some more shares. And so surprisingly enough, I went ahead and bought today more Palantir stock, PLTR. I bought another 645 shares, about $9,900 worth. I paid $15.44 for it. Now, why was it hard for me to buy Palantir stock here today, okay? Let me show you exactly why this was a hard buy for me, very hard buy for me psychologically. This is the reason, okay? This was a stock going into today I'm up over 90% on. Now, it's very hard for me psychologically to buy a stock that I was buying in the past and then have to pay a much more substantial amount of money for it. It shouldn't be that way. At the end of the day, when it comes down to stock market investing, what you paid for a stock in the past is completely irrelevant. All you have to look at is, what are you paying today? Do you believe you're getting a very undervalued valuation for that stock today? It's all that matters. What you paid in the past, whether I paid $6 for Palantir or 26 bucks for Palantir, it's all irrelevant. All that matters is, am I getting a good deal today based upon where I think this company's valuation is going over the next few years? Now, I've been hoping with Palantir, the stock price would go down, damn it. Like, come on, Palantir, like, can you chill for a bit? But this stock is just running and running and running. And I don't know if I see this stopping anytime soon. I mean, is it possible for Palantir to be up several 100% this year? It's not out of the realm of possibility. Stock's already climbed 141% this year, but do keep in mind, this stock was coming off of being devastated. And now they're one of the companies that are most primed to be in the best position for the next 5 years. They went from a stock that was absolutely devastated to literally one of the most exciting stocks for the next 5 years. And that happened in a matter of months, right? And when that happens, you're going to get a major stock price move in regards to this. Even today, I covered on the reaction channel, right? Which shout out to everybody that follows me on the reaction channel as well, and also follows me on this Big Dog channel, right? I mean, I covered it. They just deepened their partnership with Amazon Web Services much deeper here today. And it seems like there's great announcement after great announcement after great announcement. What was it yesterday? They just announced about a $600 million deal or so? If I recall yesterday, it was a huge deal. And so it's just good news after good news after good news in regards to Palantir. And then you add on top of that, folks, S&P 500 inclusion is coming. Likely end of this year or beginning of 2024. So if that's the situation, the money is going to continue to flock into Palantir for the next, I can tell you, at least a year, because you're going to have a buildup as they get closer and closer to S&P 500 inclusion, that people are going to position knowing that money is going to be forced to come into Palantir stock at some point, either at the end of this year or 2024, whenever that inclusion happens, likely, right? And so, I mean, my gosh, like that's huge for the stock price. And then if you add on top, like, analysts have them grow in 12, 15, 18% type growth rates over this next several quarters. If all of a sudden Palantir starts doing 20%, 25%, 30+%, it's game over at that point in time, because then you're talking about EPS projections are a lot better. You're talking about revenue expectations for the next several years are much better than expected. And so that's where I'm at with Palantir, where it's just like, I don't know if the momentum in Palantir is going to stop anytime soon. I think, unless we get any more great big news, I think the stock can kind of be in the 1450 to 1650 range, chilling here for a bit until next earnings. But on the flip side, folks, if we're talking about, more good news comes out, more good news, other big contracts come out. Let's say the company gives preliminary revenue for next quarter. I mean, gosh, then you're talking about $17.50 for the stock in no time, $18, right? And then once you get to those levels, then you're talking about 20 plus. So yeah, Palantir, folks, that was a hard buy for me psychologically, but at the end of the day, I think, paying $15 for this is going to be a very small amount compared to, what the shares will be in a few years from now. And time will tell in regards to that, okay? Third stock up here about of these many stocks is RVLV, Revolve Group. E-commerce play, clothing company, very successfully run over time. Really exciting growth over the coming years. I bought 850 shares of this stock. I paid $16.58 for the stock. I bought over $14,000 worth of shares of Revolve here today. Revolve is, a stock I'm up on, and once again, I don't really like to buy stocks I'm up on, but it's one that's I'm not up that much on, and the stock price has come down immensely over time. And the thing with Revolve is I'm just getting this for a very undervalued valuation. Great balance sheet on this company, great management team with this company. Obviously, very future-looking business model. Like, if anything, they're the disruptor rather than the disrupted, right? And paying about 19 times roughly 2024 numbers, and that's if analysts are right about the 84 cents. So that might be low. I could see them doing between 90 cents and $1 next year. So when you look at it from that context, I'm not paying a very big price considering this is a double-digit revenue grower, right? This is a freak year that they got going on right now where they're not going to grow double-digit percentages. But I can tell you almost every single year they grow double-digit percentages, and I expect that in all future years after this year, essentially. So I believe I'm getting a pretty undervalued stock here for a great company and a great management team. And also, it's about a $1.2 billion market cap, okay, not a big company at all. And the company, as of their latest report, had about $283 million of cash and short-term investments. So we're talking about 25%-ish, roughly, right? Somewhere around there of their market cap is basically just in cash and short-term investments. So they got a great balance sheet. I'm paying about 19 times 24 earnings for a company that I expect to grow revenue double-digit percentage, and I expect them to grow their EPS at a much faster clip than their revenue growth rate starting next year and beyond. I'll take that. I'll take that. And so I love Revolve, and happy. Okay, next one up here. What's the next stock I bought? Well, I think a lot of you guys I think definitely there's a lot of you guys that predicted this next stock, okay? This is probably the stock you guys got the most right out of your predictions that I saw out there, okay? No doubt about it. And that stock is PayPal, PYPL, okay? About 388 shares here today. I paid $64.89 per share for those ones, a little over a $25,000 move, okay? Now, with PayPal, okay, urgency this next 6 months, okay? I am working with big urgency in regards to PayPal, okay? As much urgency as I was working with in regards to Amazon, I'm trying to work with even more urgency in PayPal. PayPal is the best risk reward, to be quite frank, I've seen in the stock market since Meta for a bigger company. Best risk reward I've seen by a mile. I mean, we're talking about a company that's growing immensely, top line, growing bottom line at a way faster clip. And we're talking about a diversified business model between PayPal, Venmo, and Braintree. And so I absolutely love this one. This is easy money. This is easy money. And whenever the next CEO gets announced, which I'm sure they'll be able to get a top candidate in there, that's when I think the stock starts to move big, okay? And because then they'll know the future CEO, CFO, the vision, and it's going to be game over. So I'm trying to get my hands on everything I can under $100 a share. Give me every share in sight under $100 a share, and I'm buying. I think I'll buy this stock almost every single week for probably the rest of the year. I'll be completely honest. I think I'll buy PayPal stock every week for probably the rest of this year. Until this baby is over 100, I'm just going to be a buyer. And by the way, when it goes over 100, it's still going to be a steal deal. And, I did a very in-depth video 3 weeks ago on PayPal. So if you want to dive down the PayPal rabbit hole, I made a 27-minute video that dove way into PayPal in regards to that one, okay? Alrighty, next stock up here. What's the next stock I bought? It is Cheesecake Factory. This was actually my biggest buy here today. Not because it's necessarily the stock I like the most out of any stock in the stock market, although it is one of my favorites right now, but because this is one I'm trying to build out sooner rather than later in regards to this one, okay? About 900 shares in regards to Cheesecake. This is a stock, by the way, I'm probably going to buy almost every single week in my dividend account for, probably the next several months. I bought about $30,000 worth, and I paid $32.80 per share. Cheesecake Factory, absolutely love this one right now, okay? The stock has done horrible in the last 5 years. I mean, absolutely awful. They had to deal with Rona, obviously, which was devastating their business model. Then they had to deal with the highest inflation we've seen, like in 50 years. So, I mean, when you have those two things thrown at you as a restaurant chain, you're forced to close all your locations. And then you have the highest inflation thrown at you that you've seen. And that's just a horrible thing for the restaurant business, right? It's devastating. And so the stock price has been absolutely awful. It's down 40% in the past 5 years. I can tell you the next 5 years will not be like the last 5 years. In my opinion, the stock price is going to do absolutely incredible the next 5 years, in my opinion. This stock's so disgustingly undervalued, it's ridiculous right now. Dividend yield on this one of over 3% on Cheesecake Factory. I mean, my gosh, holy smokes, this ain't no jokers. Here's the deal. I'm paying a forward P of about 11, maybe 11, 12 on this one, right? If we go off of 2024 numbers, I'm under 10. Under 10. And this is still a growth company. That's a crazy thing. Like, Cheesecake's a growth company. And it's trading at these sorts of valuations like the company will never grow in the future. I'm just like, they're wrong about this, in my opinion, okay? I went to North Italia in Gilbert, Arizona. Yes, Gilbert, Arizona, just a couple nights ago, okay? I mean, it was just phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. North Italia, by the way, is the second brand Cheesecake Factory owns. Obviously, Cheesecake's their main one. The next brand down is North Italia. Food is always amazing. I go to the Vegas location several times, and just always amazing food, amazing service, amazing just indoor, outdoor vibes to the restaurant, like just phenomenal. Everything they do is phenomenal there. And so I think North Italia brand is the next major hit restaurant, in my opinion, in the United States of America. And I think you'll see a lot coming around the United States over this next 5-10 years, and a lot of growth there. Cheesecake Factory, obviously, you know, they could probably grow some more locations, but there's not massive growth ahead for that brand. There is massive growth ahead for North Italia, in my opinion. And by the way, Cheesecake was one of the stocks I mentioned on 7 Stocks I'm Buying Now, June 2023 edition, which I released about 6 days ago. So if you want to find out more about cake, you can find it on that video. And next stock I bought here is a new stock in the public account, okay? And that is RH stock. So RH stock, I started out here with a little over a $5,000 position in regards to RH. And I mean, RH, this is one I can see myself building for at least 6 to 12 months. Luxury real estate, in my opinions, I don't want to say it's bottoming, but gosh, it's got to be pretty darn close. Luxury real estate has been an absolute disaster for this past year. That obviously hurts RH's business. RH needs people moving, okay, in order to put up their numbers. They cater to obviously the highest end, but guess what? The highest end is who spends all the money on furniture, okay? I can tell you my main house, 6 figures I spent on furniture. 6 figures, okay? And I could tell you people in like mega mansions and stuff, they'll spend easily $1 million, $2 million, $3 million on furniture at RH, okay? And there's really no one else you can really even consider in the space, because you either, in the furniture industry, you either deal with people that have good taste, but they don't have scale, right? Or there's a situation where they have scale, but they have no taste, right? And so nonetheless, folks, like they're in the perfect spot, the absolute perfect spot where they have almost no serious competitors. They really don't. The only competitor is, you know, like a custom design studio or something like that, but they don't have scale. So once again, like RH just gets the affluent customer base, and I think they're like the Louis Vuitton of furniture, and I just think they're in a great position to expand that brand over many, many years. So starting a position, I hope to build that one over the next 6 to 12 months, and we'll go from there in regards to RH. So appreciate everybody joining me as always, folks. Thank you so much. By the way, don't forget, pin comment down there. Get your workshop. It's absolutely free. Enjoy that. Get some gems. Much love as always, and have a great day.